We are back at Puckett Fieldhouse. This is Charlie Brown to bring you men's action now after that exciting women's game that Central Methodist hangs on and wins 71-69. Now we've got the men's action. Clarke comes into the ball game with a record of 9-8, 8-6 in the conference. The Eagles come in 8-11 overall, 5-9 in the conference. And I'm looking at starting lineups that have just been posted for the Eagles. So we've got the central side put up. But again, these two teams, as you can see on your scoreboard, your insert on the screen right now, Clarke 9-8, 8-6 in the conference, Central 8-11, 5-9 in the conference. As we get ready for men's action. Put everything back up on the screen scoreboard-wise so you can see we still got over 11 and a half minutes to go. They have not yet posted the starters for Clarke. So while we wait for that, we'll go ahead and get our sponsors and information in for you, as we are going to take about a 3-minute break here on the Eagle Sports Network, and we'll be back with the starting lineups and pregame information here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Digital U. Contact us today. CMU. Be more. How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Back as we wait. SID Rachel Moore was just up there talking to me, and I said, well, it'd be nice to get the starting lineups, and she said the book's not even over there yet. So we shall wait, and if we just have to read you the lineups instead of give you the lineups, that's what we'll do. I am a one-man shop up here. I have my trusty sidekick, Cynthia Brown, my wife, who's here, keeping an eye on me to make sure I don't get too carried away. And I am producing this thing. I am calling the game. I'm doing your graphics that come up on the screen. So a little bit of everything, but that's why they pay me the big bucks, right? We have Central starters. I can give those to you while we wait. They will start Austin Fisher at one of the guards. He is a 5'10 junior from Clarksville, Tennessee. Trent Lyles, 6-foot sophomore guard from Sedalia, Missouri. Number 20, Jonathan Brown, 6'3 sophomore guard from London, England. Fody Kamara, number 23, a 6'6 senior from Queens, New York. And 24, Chandler Bevins, a 6'7 junior forward from Cahokia. Of that group, leading scorer of that bunch is Jonathan Brown, averaging 14.2. Chandler Bevins, 12.5. Fody Kamara, 11.3. Austin Fisher, 6.9. Trent Lyles, 5.9. Kyle McDermott off the bench averages 10.8. So those are your starters for the Eagles, and we'll show you those as we get ready to get started when they have the introduction of the starting lineups, because we have their lineups. As we wait for the Clarke side to put them up. You just missed the Lady Eagles game. You missed a really good ball game as the number 8 team in the nation, Clarke, loses to Central Methodist by the score of 71-69. It was 10 points at halftime. It was a 10-point Central lead at half and a 10-point Central lead at the end of 3. And Clarke battled it all the way back, got it down to 2, had the ball with 15 seconds to go, got 2 or 3 shots at it. None of them went, and the Lady Eagles walk away with a 2-point win over the number 8 team in the country. That's the first loss for Clarke since the second game of the year. They were on a 14-game winning streak. I know some of their leading scorers were not in the game, so I don't know if there was some health issues there or what. Central's got a couple of their top scorers not playing, and that's a combination of different things. But they found a way to get enough points on the board and win. They scored 71. Clarke only gives up on average 56. So we await. Clarke is back out on the floor, and here come the Eagles out onto the floor as well. As the Clarke crew trying to dunk during the layups, part of their warm-ups, and 2 young men in a row failed on their attempts. So we've got 4 minutes left, and they still haven't put the starters up on the board. So we'll probably just tell you who those starters are when we get to it, because we won't have time to enter their names, height, position, and year in school on the scoreboard in the next 3 minutes. The Eagles have won 2 of their last 3 ball games. They defeated Evangel here at home, 77-75. They lost at Baker, or they beat Evangel here 76-63. They lost to Baker at Baker 77-75, and they beat most recently Mount Mercy by 3, 74-71. So there's where we stand as we get ready to go. It'll be Austin Fisher, Trent Lyles, Fody Kamara, Jonathan Brown, and Chandler Bevins, the starters. As now the Eagles take their turns trying to dunk, and a couple of those have missed as well. So we'll just get the starting lineups for Clarke whenever they get here. And we just continue to watch the boys in the gray miss dunks. It's not a good sign. But then again, I look on the other end, and Clarke's missing them as well. So high percentage shot that they don't get to shoot too often in ball games, I think. So I don't think I've seen a dunk yet that has been successful by either side. There's one. So we're just about set. We got a little over 2 minutes to go. We'll have a women's only game on Friday afternoon, makeup game for the women with Mount Mercy. That game will tip at 1 o'clock. I think Central's got a cheer competition or something going on here later on in the day, so they're going to get that game in and over with. Supposed to get a little snowy and a lot colder. It's 50-plus degrees here today. Come Sunday, it's going to be down in the single digits for the Super Bowl in this area. And there go the starters up on the board for Clarke. We'll write those down, and when we get to it, we'll tell you who they are. We're almost there. Eagles continue to shoot. Had a good crowd for the women's game as the students are back. Probably as big a crowd as we've had with all the safety issues involved. Just about all of those people have stuck around for this game as well. Eagles are slowly but surely coming off the court, getting ready to go over and visit with Coach Sherman. And Coach Sherman, Jeff Sherman, head coach in his 36th season. Associate head coach is Matt Sherman. Graduate assistant is Brent Shuck. Want to say hi to Alan Sherman out in Colorado, Jeff's dad, Matt's grandfather, as they always watch. So now we'll have the starting lineups for both sides. They're reading the PSA for the Heart of America about character and citizenship and distance. Clarke Pride, they will start a 6'3" junior guard from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 5, Xavier Johnson. A 6'2" freshman from Indian Head Park, Illinois, Stefan Vasic. 6'1" junior from Peosta, Iowa, Jordan Lake, number 15. A 6'8" senior from South Wayne, Wisconsin, Josh Meyer. And a 6'4" junior, Keith Johnson from Dubuque, Iowa. Those are the starters. We'll throw the central starters up on the scoreboard for you so you can see those. They're going to go with number 3, Austin Fisher. He is a 6'3". He is a 5'10" junior guard from Clarksville, Tennessee. You'll see him come out in just a second. There he comes. They're in the gray uniforms. Number 10, Trent Lyles, a 6-foot sophomore from Sedalia, Missouri. Trent Lyles. A 6'3" sophomore from London, England at a guard, number 20, Jonathan Brown. A forward, a 6'6" senior from Queens, New York, 23, Fodi Kamara. And a 6'7" junior from Cahokia, Missouri, forward, number 24, Chandler Bevins. Fodi Kamara, leading rebounder with 121. Jonathan Brown, the leading scorer, averaging 14.2. Eagles average 70.2 points per ball game. They give up 71.8. For Clarke, they average 75.3 and give up 73.7. So pretty even numbers as we go along. It will be Josh Meyer and Chandler Bevins to tip this off. As I clear that off and get you the scoreboard back up on the screen so you can see it. As we're getting ready to go, 7:39, about 10 minutes past the original time. And Fisher controls the opening tap and gives it to Trent Lyles. Brown, Bevins, Fisher, Brown. Kamara steps inside the three-point line, puts a jumper up, gets it to go. We've got our stats up now. We're ready to go. Josh Meyer around the corner. That was Lake. Kicks it off. Putting it up was 23, Keith Johnson. Can't get it to go. Fisher, stutter step on the dribble. Kicks it back out. Steps on the end line. And it'll go over to Clarke on the turnover. Try to go baseline and then kick it back out. Steps on the end line. So this is Jordan Lake, a junior, with the ball. Got Lyles on him. Here comes Meyer with a pick. Lake goes around it. Hands it off to Vasic. Halfway down and out. Bevins with a rebound. Kamara. Brown with a long three, won't go. Lake with a rebound. Walk it up the court, 2-0. First half underway. Lake still with a dribble. Got Lyles on him. This is Johnson to the hoop. Lays it up and in. Keith Johnson, his first points of the ball game. He is their leading scorer at 16.9. Fisher looking for a pick from Bevins. Gets it. Goes around. Brown. Call for carrying the ball as he got his hand on underneath of it more than on the side of it. He wants an explanation. The official's not going to give him one. The call stands as it is and doesn't really need to be explained. Vosick gets the ball inbounds. This is Lake with it. Bevins jump switch out on Lake to slow him down. Meyer. Back to Lake. To the hoop. Kicks it out to the corner of Vosick. Johnson straight away three. Comes up short. Tipped around. Back out to Lake. New 20. Lake again to the hoop. Finds his way there. Can't get it to go. It comes all the way out to Fisher. 2.5 minutes. 2 points for either side. Kamara with the 2 for the Eagles. Lyles looks inside for Bevins. Can't get it there. Back out. Fisher tries to find a way to the hoop. Brown going to cut through. Left hand to the hoop. Lays it up and in. Jonathan Brown. Averages 14. Has his first 2. Eagles with a 2-point advantage. Vosick. Johnson. Try to get a pick from Meyer. Does. Meyer rolls to the basket. He's fouled on the pick and roll. Chandler Bevins, I believe. Fody Kamara, 23, not 24. And Meyer to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 56.5% free throw shooter and misses the first one. Hits the second one, 4-3. Lyles across half court, right wing. Fisher top. Brown. Bevins likes to shoot threes from out there. Kamara. Fisher. Fisher now with a mismatch. That means Bevins has got a mismatch inside. He's got Johnson on him. Kamara with his foot on the line. Hits a 2. He's got 4. 6-3 Eagles. Lake around to pick. Vosick. Johnson down the lane. Bump. Back out to Lake. He's going to take it to the hoop. Right to the basket. Can't get it to call. And a late whistle. Kamara picks up his second personal foul.
At the line shooting 2, number 15, Jordan Lake.
Jordan Lake at the free throw line. He's a 67% free throw shooter. Need to say that a little earlier. Kamara goes out. Kyle McDermott checks in. McDermott, a 6'3 senior out of Frankfort, Illinois. Averages 10.9, so he gets a lot of playing time. He's a good 3-point shooter. Second free throw good, 6'4. Or 6'5, as they haven't updated there. They update the scoreboard. He made the first one, and he made the second one. Bevins, 3 in the air, going to be long. Hits the rim, no good. Out with a rebound is Xavier Johnson. This is Lake, tries to go around. Keith Johnson has his shot blocked. Out come the Eagles. Jonathan Brown pulls up, jumper on the way. Good. Jonathan Brown with 4. Kamara's got 4, and it is 8-5 Central. And they're having a hard time with the scoreboard working. Yours is working fine. Now they say it's 10-5. Now they say it's 9. Now they say it's 8. So, and we'll get a foul underneath. And Meyer Kyle McDermott with a foul. Meyer back to the free throw line as I was watching the scoreboard operator trying to get everything straightened out. Meyer hits the first of 2. He's 2 out of 3. Dalen Johnson into the ball game. They have Keith Johnson. They have Xavier Johnson. They have Dalen Johnson. All from different cities. Not related. 8-6. Fisher step back 3, hits it. Austin Fisher. This is Dalen Johnson. Lake inside to Meyer against Bevins. Gets tipped to Lake. Misses the shot. Dalen Johnson with a rebound. Shot clock still at 10. Meyer goes to the hoop, lays it up and in. Bevins with the foul, his first. Meyer back to the free throw line. Chris Orozco gets ready to check in. Meyer already 3 for 4 from the free throw line. 2 for 4 rather. Now he's 3 for 5. 11-8. We continue on with Fisher, Brown, McDermott. 3 lined up in the air. Back of the rim, no good. He bails and heads down the floor. Doesn't follow his shot. And collected by Clarke. Lake with it. Orozco tips it out of there. Ahead it comes to Brown. Lays it up. Dunks it. We'll have that for you on the next break that we get. That replay. 13-9. Trying to go to the hoop. Tipped around. That was Xavier Johnson with the effort there. Fisher back out with it. Thought about a 3, didn't take it. McDermott hands it off to Lyles. Orozco with a pick. Brown with a 3, hits it. Jonathan Brown has 9 already in the ball game, and it's 16-9 Eagles. Lake calls out it. Gets a pick from Meyer. Gets another one from Keith Johnson. Takes it to the hoop. Does Dalen Johnson and hits it. His first 2. Brown with 9. Got a mismatch. Didn't use it. Inside to Orozco. He wanted the ball against Meyer. Fisher with a 3 from the corner. Can't get it. Meyer with a rebound. 16-11. Lake. Meyer. Orozco on him. Foul call as Xavier Johnson takes it to the hoop, and he'll go to the free throw line. Jonathan Brown, his first foul. 2 players for Clarke ready to check in. 1 player getting ready to check in. That's Jaden McGrew. I can see that from here.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 11, Jaden McGrew. In the game for Clarke, number 24,
Gabe Shields, 24, and waiting to come in for Xavier Johnson is the other player, and he'll come in if Johnson makes this free throw, and then I won't have 3 Johnsons to differentiate out on the floor. That one is a miss, and he gets to stay in the game. So Jaden McGrew, number 11, with the ball right now. Right wing. Fisher gets a pick from Brown. Ball back to Brown now. All the way across McDermott. 10 on the shot clock. Fisher, spin. Down the lane, can't get it to go. Brown battles for it, and we'll have a foul called, and I think it's going to go against Clarke. That'll be their first team foul. Dalen Johnson with the foul, his first foul. Into the ball game, Cobb Hubbard. 6'1" sophomore from Platteville, Wisconsin. Orozco. McDermott left-handed to the hoop, lays it up and in. Kyle McDermott with his first points. 18-12. Lake with the ball, McGrew on him. Dalen Johnson, Meyer inside against Orozco. Orozco picks up the foul. First foul on Chris Orozco.
Fouls on the Eagles. Number 32, Chris Orozco, that foul his first.
That's team foul number 5 already, and Meyer's back to the free throw line where he has already 3 for 5 in the game. Found a stroke. He's now 4 for 6. Eagles with no free throws. Meyer was 6. 9 altogether for Clarke so far. Hits them both. 7 points for Meyer. Grew. McDermott, step back 3, hits it. Kyle McDermott. He got the drive in the basket. Now he fills up one from the outside. 5 points for him, 21-13. Lake around the pick, into the corner. Dalen Johnson. Baseline jumper by Meyer, no good. Dalen Johnson with a rebound. Underneath, scoops it back up and in, reverse. 4 points off the bench for him, 21-16 as we approach the 11-minute mark of this first half. McDermott. Too many people in the area, and Shields comes out with a steal. Lake. Back out. Meyer's got a 3 lined up. Top of the backboard, no good. And out of play. Xavier Johnson back in. Keith Johnson back in. Meyer goes out, as does Hubbard. Brown. McDermott in the corner. Baseline. Tries to pass it to Bevins. Pass, it goes awry. Back-to-back turnovers for the Eagles. Dalen Johnson out to Lake. Top of the key. Got a mismatch with Bevins on him. Got to be a big somewhere that's got a small on. Lake around Bevins to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Tipped around. Blocked by Bevins. Brown with the steal, the pickup. Goes to the hoop. He'll be fouled by Keith Johnson.
Foul is on Clarke's number 23, Keith Johnson. That foul
His first. Ball on the side. Marcus Anthony gets ready to check in for the Eagles.
Marcus Anthony.
McDermott checks out. Anthony inbounds to McGrew. Anthony with a cut. Back out. Jaden McGrew looks it over. Inside, it's kicked. Trying to get the ball inside to Bevins. It's kicked by Xavier Johnson. Ball on the side. Centrals. 20 seconds left. Put it back up on the shot clock. And we have a timeout called. I'd like to thank our corporate partners for the continued support of CMU Athletics, MFA Oil, the Braun Home, Jennings Premium Meats, Community Auto Sales and Service, Airlink, Drury Hotels, Missouri Pacific Lumber, Howard County Electric, and Commercial Trust Company. Next ball game, we've got one here on Friday. Women's only game against Mount Mercy. And then the big finale of the year, last home game of the year, is a week from this Saturday, when Graceland comes to town to take on the Eagles, and I will be joined in that broadcast by Central alumnus and former basketball player here, Jim Ross. He is going to come in and help me out with that ball game. I look forward to that, having somebody up here to help me out with all of this, and he'll be able to explain the intricacies of this ball game better than I can explain them because he played it here at Central. So back out of the timeout. It is Lake, Xavier Johnson, Keith Johnson, Gabe Shields, and Dalen Johnson. So I have the three Johnsons back on the court at the same time. Anthony, Bevins, Brown, McGrew, and Fisher on the floor for the Eagles. This is McGrew in the corner to Marcus Anthony. Swung back to Fisher. Going to get a pick from Bevins. Got a mismatch now, big and a small. Got to figure out how to get it to Bevins. Fisher's going to settle, has to take a three with 5 on the shot clock. Tipped around, and Lake comes out of there with the basketball. Jordan Lake, 6'1 junior from Peosta, Iowa. Knocked out of bounds. It will be Central basketball. Jaden McGrew has the ball up the court. Anthony back to McGrew. Cut off. Anthony's got a three on the way in the air. Scoops out, no good. Xavier Johnson with the rebound. Dalen Johnson. And we've got an offensive foul as Marcus Anthony steps in and takes the contact. Not sure he was set either, but foul on Xavier Johnson. 9:02 to go. 21-16 Eagles. Brown, McGrew, Fisher, Anthony, and Bevins on the floor. There, gets the ball inside to Bevins. He backs in, spins, pivots, puts it up, can't get it to go, ends up getting it back. Didn't hit anything, so the shot clock, well, hit reset to 20 on the rebound. McGrew, lefty from the corner, no good. Shields with the rebound. Dalen Johnson to the hoop, won't get it to go. Marcus Anthony is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first.
Eagles number 0, Marcus Anthony. That foul his first. 7th team foul against the Eagles. Shooting 1-1, number 2, Dalen Johnson.
Dalen Johnson at the free throw line. His first free throw is no good. It was a 1-1 as that was already the 7th team foul. McGrew to the hoop, clears himself a little space, banks it in left-handed. Cleared himself some room from Jordan Lake guarding him and was able to make that. 23-16. Keith Johnson with a three, can't get it to go, and McGrew with a rebound. To the hoop, left hand again, banks it in again. He's got 4 points on back-to-back trips, and it's a 9-point advantage for the Eagles. Couple of subs getting ready to come back in for Clarke. Keith Johnson, Xavier Johnson, Lake with Bevins on him, has to turn around and go back. Keith Johnson to the hoop, lays it up and in. He's got 4 in the game. Brown, Anthony, McGrew, Fisher. Fisher to the hoop, puts it up and gets it to go. Austin Fisher with 5 points now in the game. Lake with a three from outside, hits it. And we've got a timeout call, 27-21. Lake with 5 points. Clarke takes the timeout. It's a full one, so we'll go ahead and run a quick ad. Or we can show you. Let's see if we can pull up that dunk of just a little bit ago. Let's see if we can run that. There it comes. See Clarke bringing the ball down the floor. Going to run a play. Going to be tipped around. Knocked away there, into the hands, up ahead, McDermott, bounce pass, and the left hand flush right there. So we'll get all of our stuff put back up. 27-21, 7:09 to go. Vasic back in the ball game, as is Meyer for Clarke. Brown, McGrew, Bevins, Anthony, and Kyle McDermott back in the ball game for the Eagles. McDermott driving basket and a three in his limited time that was in earlier. McGrew, Brown, McDermott, Anthony, Brown tries to find a way to the hoop, almost gets tied up, gets out of there, gets it back, 10 on the shot clock. McDermott finds his way to the hoop, scoop shot won't go, didn't get a foul call. Meyer with a rebound. Dalen Johnson to the hoop, kicks it out. Keith Johnson lines up a three off the top and over the top of the backboard and out of play. Six-point advantage, 6.5 to go here in the first half. Anthony, Brown, McDermott, back to Brown. He's got an open shot from the three-point line. In and out, Meyer with a rebound. Vasic. And a travel in the corner called on Dalen Johnson. Just under 6 to go here from Puckett Fieldhouse. Looks like the Clarke ladies are getting ready to depart. Brown, McDermott. He's a lefty. He wants to go left if possible. Brown's got a three. Front of the rim, no good. And Johnson Keith with the rebound. Dalen Johnson. Stephen Vasic against McGrew. Has his pocket picked by Brown. Brown one-on-one, tries to go to the hoop. Can't save it. Can't get there. Anthony has it stripped out of his hands. He looks for a foul. No call there. Lake back in. Daquan Lewis into the ball game. 6'3" freshman from Dubuque, Iowa. Fody Kamara back in with his 2 fouls. Chris Orozco back in. Trent Lyles back in. Anthony and McDermott stay for the Eagles. Kamara back in. Had 4 quick points and 2 quick fouls. McDermott trying to figure out how to get to the hoop. Back out. Marcus Anthony to the hoop. Lays it off. Nice pass to Chris Orozco. Lays it up and in. His first 2 points of the ball game. Nice assist. This is Lewis with the ball. Meyer back out to Lake. Down the lane, kicks it off to Keith Johnson, spins it up and in. 6-point advantage. Kamara, McDermott, going to get a pick from Orozco. Orozco rolls off of that, can't get it to go. And Lake with the rebound. Jim Blaine, the head coach for Clarke. Brandon Schwebke, assistant. Keith Johnson, Meyer. Keith Johnson with a three. Cuts the lead in half. Down to a 3-point advantage for the Eagles. Lyles up the floor. McDermott. Orozco at the 3-point line. Underneath to Kamara. Shoots very well from in there. Passes it back out. McDermott. Orozco. That's not his territory to shoot from. 12. McDermott with a long three. Can't go. Tipped up by Kamara. Can't No rebound there, and out comes Clarke with the basketball. This is Lake. Keith Johnson. Meyer. Lewis. And there will be a foul called as Keith Johnson was working his way towards the basket. He'll go to the free throw line. Second foul on Marcus Anthony.
Number 23, Keith Johnson. Substitutions for Clarke. Number 24, Gabe Shields.
Shields back in. Fisher back in for the Eagles. Johnson at the free throw line. His first free throw of the evening. Got 9 points. Looking for double digits here. No good. And Orozco with a rebound. Still a 3-point advantage. Fisher. McDermott, Orozco. Kamara, back to Fisher. 15 on the shot clock. McDermott calls for it, looks inside. Gets it to Kamara on the baseline with 6 on the shot clock. Lyles, long three from outside, no good. And Chris Orozco with a foul, and Meyer will go back to the free throw line. And I say go back to the free throw line because Josh Meyer is 5 for 7 from the free throw line. 12 free throws for Clarke. 0 for Central. 9 fouls against Central. 3 team fouls against Clarke. Chandler Bevins gets ready to check back in. Free throw comes up short. McDermott. Offensive foul on Kyle McDermott. That's his second personal foul. Bevins back in. Orozco goes out. 2:50 to go. Jonathan Brown comes in. McDermott checks out. Shields inbounds the ball. Lake brings it up. Chance to tie or get within 1. Meyer. Lake. Didn't want the jumper from the free throw line. Johnson will take a little tougher one. Can't get it to go, and Kamara with a rebound. Fisher. Bevins. Kamara, too far out for his liking. Corner, Brown. Far corner, Lyles going to take it to the hoop, kick it right back out. Fisher's got a 3 from outside, can't get it to go, but Lyles is going to run it down. Get it back, go in the lane. Kick it back out to Fisher, which is what he just did. And Fisher throws it away as it is taken away by Lewis. Got in the passing lane and intercepted the pass. Meyer thought about a 3. Shields will take a 3 from the corner. Scoops in and out. It almost went off the backboard. Keith Johnson with a rebound. Can't get it to go. And there's a travel on Daquan Lewis as he went up, came back down, and then tried to go back up again like he had lost control of the ball and was okay. McGrew checks in. Lyles out. Trey Meany gets ready to check in. And Kamara will check out with 150. Don't want Kamara to pick up his third personal foul here in this last 150. McGrew got 4 points and back-to-back trips down the floor earlier this half. 1:42 to go. Meany, 3-point shooter. Brown, slasher. Fisher loses a handle on it. Comes up with it. And he's run into. And I think that's Lewis who will get the foul. It is. So he bumped. Fisher while he was on the floor. That's only team foul number 4. First personal foul there on Lewis. Brown will get it inbounds. 20 on the shot clock. McGrew with it. Meany. Jaden McGrew. Goes at Myers. Gets a shot blocked. Gets it back. Has to find somebody. 9 on the shot clock. The bench starts counting it down. Bevan's going to take a shot from out there. Won't go. And Keith Johnson with the rebound and gives it off to Lake. 1:06 to go here in this first half. Pretty good moving first half. Shields inside to Meyer. Can't get it to go. Johnson just saves it and thinks he's fouled, so just chucks it back up toward the basket, and it goes in. He's got 11 in the game, and it's a 1-point advantage for the Eagles. Brown. Bevins. Fisher. Trying to find his way through. Bevins with it. 12 on the shot clock. 33, so Clarke will get the ball back with a shot at the last shot of the game, or of the half. Bevins misses a three, and Keith Johnson. And their first lead in a long time. Timeout called by Clarke as they come across half court. They've got a chance with 18.1 to go to take a lead. Jacob Moore going to check in for the Eagles. Jonathan Brown with 9 leads the Eagles. Keith Johnson has 11 to lead Clarke with 18.1 to go. Clarke again 8 of 14 from the free throw line. Central 0 of 0. And Clarke not anywhere close to being in putting the Eagles in the bonus. They've only got 4 team fouls. Central's got 10 on the board already. Lake with Fisher on him. Signals for people to get out of the way. Keith Johnson pulls a three. Can't get it to go. Long rebound, Jacob Moore. Gets it to McGrew. They're counting it down. He launches one from deep. Can't get it to go. And we are at half. Halftime score is Central 29, Clarke 28. We're going to stay here because I think the dance team again is going, or cheerleaders are going to have something as they're rolling mats out onto the court. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope they get them out before half's over. But we'll keep it here, and then we'll run our ads and have our halftime stats when we come back. As they try and figure it out. You clear the scoreboard off so you can see things better. All right, so we'll listen in.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, performing at halftime, your Central Methodist cheer team. Eagle cheer team, your music is on.
the cheer team for you. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes or so with your halftime stats. You're watching college basketball on the Eagle Sports Network.
CMU's Digital U. Contact us today. CMU. Be more. How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
We're back. It's halftime, 29-28 in favor of the Eagles. Here come your halftime stats. They're pretty interesting. 29-28, you see your score there. Field goal percentage, Clarke 9 of 24 for 37.5%. Central 13 of 32 for 40.63%. Three-pointers, 2 of 8 for 25% for Clarke. 3 of 16 for 18.75% for Central. Free throw line, 8 of 14 for Clarke. 57.14%. 0 of 0 for nothing, no percentage, as no free throws were taken by the Eagles in the first half. Rebounds, 21 total for Clarke, 6 offensive, 15 defensive. For Central, 4 offensive, 14 defensive, for 18 total. And turnovers, 8 for Clarke and 6 for Central. Hope you like our new graphics that we have dug out and started using for this. So they're a little more colorful and a little easier to negotiate, because the old set of graphics that we had, all you could put was a percentage up there. This gives you a little more room to show the actual numbers so that you can see those. So we will get those off of the scoreboard. We'll get your scoreboard put back up, which is a little bit different than the ones you have seen kind of recently. We used this the last time out as well. That's a new scoreboard. So our production people have come up with some new things for us, and we appreciate that. Hope you do as well. Enjoy bringing these ball games to you. Again, we have a game Friday, women's game Friday at 1 o'clock against Mount Mercy. Then they hit the road for a while, both sides, the men and the women. They'll be back here on Saturday, which I think is the 13th. That will be senior day and all the rest of that, as that's the last home game of the regular season when the Graceland Yellow Jackets from Lamoni, Iowa come into town. Been to Lamoni several times playing baseball for Central. Used to be a trip that we made that was Lamoni one night and the former Tarkio College the next day. So, stayed at the Lamoni Chief several times on trips that direction. So we're just about ready to get back. Give you the halftime scoring. For Clarke, they are led by Keith Johnson with 11. 7 points for Josh Meyer. 5 for Jordan Lake, 4 for Dalen Johnson, and 1 point for Xavier Johnson. For the Eagles, they are led by Jonathan Brown with 9. 5 points for Kyle McDermott, 5 for Austin Fisher. 4 points for Jaden McGrew, 4 points for Fody Kamara, and those are the first 4 points of the ball game. 2 points for Chris Orozco. 29-28. And we look to see who's on the court, and it's the original starters for Clarke. Xavier Johnson, number 5. Stefan Vasic, number 13. 15 is Jordan Lake. 22, Josh Meyer. And 23, Keith Johnson. For the Eagles, it looks like their original starting lineup of Austin Fisher, number 3. He's got 5. Trent Lyles, number 10. Number 20 is Jonathan Brown with 9 points. 23, Fody Kamara, 4 points, 2 fouls. And Chandler Bevins scoreless in the first half. And he averages double digits. So we're back to action. Vasic gets it in. And this is Xavier Johnson to Lake. Keith Johnson, 3 on the way. No good. Rims out. All the way out to Vasic. Keith Johnson to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Kamara with the rebound. Brings it out. Slows it up. Gets it to Fisher. Sets up the offense. Brown. Lyles. Inside it goes to Bevins against Meyer. Brown back in again. Bevins spins lane. Puts it up. Can't get it to go. But there's Fody Kamara with a rebound. Puts it up. Banks it in. He had the first basket, the first 2 baskets of the ball game. He's got the first basket of the second half, and it's a 3-point advantage. 31-28, low-scoring game. Both sides average in the 70s. Both sides give up in the 70s. Steal there. Fisher comes out with it. Kamara down the lane. Long step. Drops it off for Bevins. Goes up. He's fouled. Nice pass by Fody Kamara. Foul goes on Xavier Johnson, his second foul. And the first free throws of the night are on the way for the Eagles. Bevins hits the first one. His first point. First free throw of the night for Central. 4-point advantage. Make it 5 as Bevins hits them both. Eagles have scored the first 4 points of this half. They scored the first 4 to start the game, and they scored the first 4 here. Johnson inside to Meyer against Bevin. Puts it up, bailed out by a foul by Bevins. That's his second personal foul, and Myers goes back to the free throw line where he is already 5 for 8 in the ball game. Meyer, a 56% free throw shooter, makes the first one. 6 for 9. He misses the second, and Kamara with a rebound. Xavier Johnson tried for a steal from behind, didn't get it. And the Eagles in the front court. Brown, Fisher, Lyles. Going to run it here with 15 on the shot clock. Fisher, Bevins has it knocked away, and that foul will go on Keith Johnson. That's his second personal foul. First team foul of the second half. Lyles has the inbound. Kamara left wing, back to Lyles. Ball fake, heads down. Kamara with a long, and they call it a 3. He was close to being on the line. He's got 9. Brown's got 9. 2 leading scorers for the Eagles, and they're up 7. And I think that'll be the biggest lead they've had in the ball game. Vasic with a 3. It's his first shot of the ball game. Myers with a rebound, puts it back up and in. Took the ball away from 3 Eagles inside and lays it back up and in, and he's got 10. 11 for Keith Johnson. 2 players in doubles. Fisher went to the hoop, threw it where Lyles was. Lyles wasn't there anymore, and a turnover. McDermott in. Fisher goes out. Dalen Johnson, number 2 in the game for Clarke. This is Lake against Kamara. To Meyer. Knocked off of Meyer and out of bounds. 5-point advantage for the Eagles as we're just underway, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Lyles, McDermott. Kamara steps through, kicks it to the corner. Bevins with a three from there, can't get it to go. Long rebound right back to him. Lyles has a three teed up, can't get it to go. Bevins saves that one as well to Lyles. Kamara, McDermott in the corner for a three, can't get it to go. Bevins tips that one around. Lyles comes out with it again. Fourth chance in this possession for the Eagles. Brown with it. He's not been involved in any of the shots so far. Bevins has taken two. McDermott one. Brown takes a jumper. Can't get it to go. Bevins tipped it but couldn't get it. Lake comes down with it. To the hoop in a hurry was Dalen Johnson. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Blocked out of there by Kamara. Lyles to the hoop, lays it off the glass, used the rim to protect himself from being blocked, to have a shot blocked. His first 2 points of the ball game. Lake stops. Kamara picks up his third foul on a reach.
Foul on the Eagles, number 23, Cody Kamara. That foul, his third. Second team foul of the half.
38-31. Dalen Johnson inbound to Jordan Lake. Walks it back across half court. Josh Meyer back to Lake. Goes at Bevins. Loses it off of his hands, out of bounds. Turnover number 11 for Clarke. Lyles dribbles out by half court, gets a screen from Bevins. Pick to Bevins, takes it to the hoop, can't get it to go, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot a pair. See if it's Johnson or if it is Meyer. It's Meyer. His first. Bevins at the line. Bevins the only free throw shooter thus far for the Eagles. Makes the first, 3 of 3. .65% free throw shooter, makes both of them. A 9-point advantage for the Eagles at 15:45 to go. Second half. Lake, Meyer with Bevins on him. Backs in, puts up a little jumper and gets it to go. Meyer with 12 in the game. He's the leading scorer right now for Clarke. He averages 12. He's got 12. Bevins hits a three. He's got 7 points now. He had 0 at halftime, so in the first 5 minutes of the second half, he's got 4 free throws and a three. Meyer underneath. Round the basket. Underneath. Scoops it back up and in. And a timeout called by Clarke. I'd like to tell you, AirLink Rural Broadband is your local wireless and fiber internet provider. Family owned and operated with coverage options in Sheraton, Howard, Saline, and surrounding counties. Interested in wireless or fiber service? Visit us at airlink123.com for information on all your internet needs. You see that real quick, and then we'll flip over to watch, see what's going on over on the bench. Coach Sherman sitting in a chair with back to us, talking to his players with a clipboard, going over it. That's Coach Jeff Sherman. Standing right next to him is associate head coach Matt Sherman. So the folks out in Colorado, the Sherman family out there, thanks for joining in. We know you're always watching. See how your son, grandson is doing, and they're doing just fine, thank you. 8-point advantage, 43-35 for the Eagles. It was 29-28 at half. It'll be Central basketball. Lyles, Kamara. McDermott, Bevins, and Brown on the floor for the Eagles. That's Brown with it. Looks inside. Kamara. McDermott around the corner. Bevins, who's been hot here lately, gives it back to McDermott, comes around the corner. Baseline jumper off the side of the backboard a little bit. Spun. Saved by Kamara. Lyles underneath. Takes it to the hoop. Kamara. Middle of the court. Little jumper. Comes up short. Lake with a rebound. 8-point game. 14:30 to go. Lake with Brown on him now. Inside it goes to Meyer. He's going to take it underneath, puts it up left-handed, can't get it to go, but he's fouled, and he'll go back to the free throw line. I'm going to look and see how many free throws Mr. Meyer has shot this year, because he's already at 10 with 2 more to go. He is 52 of 92 coming into this ball game. He has shot the second most free throws. Jordan Lake has shot 99. (43-37). 16 for Meyer. Bevins. Brown thought about pulling a three. Going to get a pick. Go around. Bevins has it. Lyles. Brown. Now this get a 3-yard away. Can't get it to go, but Kamara with a rebound. To the hoop. Lays it up. Gets it to go. Fody Kamara. He is a 54% shooter from the floor because he gets shots like that on a pretty regular basis. Back to 8. Keith Johnson. Lake. Xavier Johnson. Keith Johnson. 3 on the way. Hits it. He's got 14 now, and it's a 5-point game. Man defense by the Pride. Brown, double teamed, has to pull it back out. Lyles. Kamara's feeling 3 from deep. Can't get it to go. McDermott slaps at it, but it ends up in Keith Johnson's hands, and here comes Clarke with the basketball. Lake. Keith Johnson feeling it right now, but that one comes up short. Xavier Johnson runs it down. Dalen Johnson. Lake. Got 2 people guarding him. Somebody's got to be open. He pulls it back out. Dalen Johnson. Meyer. And we have a foul call, and that's a tough call because... Sorry about that. That's Kamara's 4th foul, and that's tough because there was a lot of collision underneath. Kamara's coming out. We need a player. No, Kamara's going to stay in because here comes Fisher now to the scores table. Central only had 4 on the floor. 14 fouls against the Eagles, 3 against Clarke. Keith Johnson takes it to the hoop, banks it up and in. Easy enough. And the 8-point lead is down to 3. Lyles, Brown, dips in and out. Bevins underneath, Meyer on him. Bevins spins, tries to find his way to the hoop, gets it up, muscles it to the basket, scores, and the foul will be on Josh Meyer. His 2nd personal foul.
Foul on number 22, Josh Meyer. That foul, his 2nd. 14 foul at the line.
No points in the first half, 9 points here in the first 7.5 minutes of the second half. Looking to get to double figures right now. Bevins gets the roll. And a timeout called by the Eagles. So with that, we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagle Sports Network.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Back after the timeout, 48-42. It'll be Clarke basketball. Dalen Johnson to inbound. Jordan Lake to receive it. Trent Lyles waiting for Lake to come up the court. Gets a pick. Frees up a three. Fouled on the play by Lyles. And to the free throw line will go his second foul. Jordan Lake, I told you that he has more free throws than anybody else on the team. He has 66 of 99. And he's got 3 coming here, so he could make his average would be 2 out of 3. First one is good. 6 points for Lake. 2 more to go. Two for 2. 1 more to go. McGrew checks in. Trent Lyles checks out. Down to a 4-point game. Make it a 3-point ball game. Jaden McGrew with the ball. He had 4 points on back-to-back possessions in the first half. Hands it off to Fisher. To McDermott. Fisher's got a 3, just back into the ball game. Can't hit it. Brown tips it around. Called for a foul over the back. That's team foul number 6. So Clarke will be in the bonus with the next Eagle foul after this one. He pleads his case and is told no thank you. He says, I just went straight up over the top, and the official says, nope. Lake with it, gets a pick from Meyer. Back to Meyer on the pick and roll. Banks it too hard, won't go. McDermott with a rebound, and he's going to run it up the floor. Brown, stutter step on the baseline, gets it to Bevins, loses the handle on it, gives it back. McGrew to the hoop, left hand off the glass. He's got 6, leads up to 5. Three on the way, no good. Bevins with a rebound. Meyer undercuts him on the board. That'll be the 3rd foul on Josh Meyer.
Clarke's number 22, Josh Meyer. That foul, his 3rd. 15 foul.
15 foul against the Pride. 11-11 to go. Second half. Xavier Johnson getting ready to check back in for Clarke. Brown. McDermott to the hoop, left-hander, tries to get it to go right-handed. It just rolls off. Here comes Dalen Johnson. Lake, left hand off the glass. His won't go. Bevins with a rebound. Back and forth. Johnson tries to step through, puts it up, can't get it to go. Foul called. He'll go to the free throw line. And now, after this set of 2 free throws, everybody will be in the 1-and-1. Dalen Johnson, second foul for him. Austin Fisher at the line. First free throw of the evening is good for him. He shoots 76.5%. Six-point advantage. Make it 7. Daquan Lewis into the ball game for the Pride. This is Xavier Johnson. Keith Johnson, leading scorer for them, with 16. Xavier Johnson against Chandler Bevins. Bumps, fades, can't get it to go, and Fisher with the rebound. Jonathan Brown. Bevins inside, spins against Xavier Johnson. Can't get it to go. And Xavier Johnson with the rebound. Dalen Johnson. Slides, and they'll call a travel. Lost his footing underneath the basket. Call for a travel. 9:55 to go, and we've got another timeout call. Show you the Eagle bench on the side, and then we'll cut back so you can see on the periphery. Cheerleaders to your left. 7-point advantage, and we're halfway through the second half of play. Friday at 1 o'clock, women's action before they hit the road. They've got 5 games left. 2 at home, Friday and the following Saturday. 3 road games in between. The men are on the road. They've got 4 games left after this one. 3 of them on the road, 1 at home, I believe. Let me make sure that's correct. They play at Culver, at William Penn, and finish up at Grandview. Coming up on 10 minutes till 9 Central Time. 9:55 to go. Eagles with the basketball. Jaden McGrew with it. Jonathan Brown, Kyle McDermott, Chandler Bevins, and Austin Fisher. Brown goes baseline, bump, little floater, won't go. Xavier Johnson with a rebound. Jordan Lake gets it back from Xavier Johnson. This is Keith Johnson to the hoop. Little layup off the glass, good. 18 for him. McDermott wants to go baseline. Lefty trying to go right baseline. That didn't work out too well. Brown to the hoop. Lefty won't go. Tipped around, goes out of bounds off of Chandler Bevins. And Fodi Kamara gets ready to check back in. Josh Meyer back in. Lake around the pick. Baseline, Meyer now against Bevins. Backs in, left-hand, he puts it up, gets it to go. And he's fouled, and that will be foul number 3 on Chandler Bevins.
Foul on the Eagles, number 24, Chandler Bevins. That foul his 3rd, entering the contest for the Eagles, number 32, Chris Orozco.
Three-point play is finished the old-fashioned way, and we're down to a 3-point ball game. McGrew's giving them some good minutes off the bench. Fisher with the ball, back to McGrew. Looks inside, Orozco into the ball game. Fisher loses a handle on it, but goes right to McGrew. Bumps, Fisher from the corner, 3 on the way, flat and off the side of the backboard. Gets it right back, takes it to the hoop, and gets it to go. Austin Fisher. He's got 9 in the ball game. Averages almost 7. Got 9. 5-point, only a 4-point lead. I thought they were up 3. We shall soon see if it gets fixed. Meyer inside. Foul by Orozco. That'll put Meyer back at the free throw line. 3rd foul on him. Meyer 8 for 12 from the free throw line. He has more free throws himself than Central has, which is 7. Free throw good. I swore it was 53-50 before Fisher made that basket, and they only put 1 point on the board. We'll soon see, though. Nobody else has said anything about it. It was a 3-point advantage, and they trade 2 points each, and it's a 2-point advantage with 8:05 to go. McDermott. Orozco, not going to even think about a shot from out there. Kamara. Down the lane goes Fisher. Double team taken away from him, and out with the ball comes Xavier Johnson. Knocked out of bounds. They say it goes off of Chris Orozco out of bounds. Comes in. Keith Johnson over the top of McGrew. Has his shot blocked by Chris Orozco. And it comes to Meyer. Hands it back to Lake. He's got a three-pointer on the way, halfway down and out. Meyer with the rebound. A lot of movement in there without the ball ever being dribbled. Foul goes on Jaden McGrew.
Jaden McGrew, that foul his first. 19th foul at the line. Shooting 1 and 1, number 22, Josh Meyer. Substitution for Clarke, number 2, Dalen Johnson.
Dalen Johnson back in. First free throw good. That's foul number 9. So from now on, there are going to be 2-shot fouls with 7:27 to go. They'll be in the double bonus then. Second one is no good. McDermott goes after the ball. It's knocked out of bounds. The Clarke bench erupts because they thought the ball went off of McDermott, but did not. Scoreboard says 54-53. I think it's 55-53, but I'm not the official scorer. McDermott, Orozco. Fisher. McGrew with 10 on the shot clock. Tries to get to the hoop, has his shot blocked, gets it back, puts it up and in. 8 points for Jaden McGrew. Nice pass. Dalen Johnson to Xavier Johnson. McGrew. Fisher. Kamara. To the hoop. Goes McDermott. He's going to get the call this time on a blocking foul on Meyer, and that will be Meyer's 4th personal foul. McDermott now with 7. And a free throw coming. Chris Orozco out. Chandler Bevins back in. Jonathan Brown in. Fody Kamara out with his 4 fouls. Guess Coach Sherman tries to buy a few minutes of playing time for Kamara and a little break. McDermott hits the free throw. Daquan Lewis checks back in. Bevins against Keith Johnson. He loses a handle on it. Goes out of bounds, and it will be Central basketball. They're saying tipped. Or a foul, take your pick. Officials called neither of those two things. McGrew, 4-point advantage with 6 to go. Nice to stretch it out a couple more points. Brown, Fisher. Bevins, inside move to to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Keith Johnson to Xavier Johnson. Back to Keith Johnson. Drives baseline. Going to dish it off, but ends up in Jonathan Brown's hands. So he's just going to continue to go to the hoop until somebody stops him. He's fouled on the way there. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1. Dalen Johnson picks up the foul, his third. Meyer gets ready to check back in with his 4 fouls. Xavier Johnson checks out. First free throw of the evening for Jonathan Brown. Hits it. He is a 76% free throw shooter. 5-point lead. Misses the second, and Dalen Johnson with the rebound. Keith Johnson looks inside to Meyer. A lot of traffic around him. Lake wants Meyer to come set a pick. He does. Rolls off of it. Pass is saved by Keith Johnson from going out of bounds. Dalen Johnson with 4 on the shot clock. To the hoop, lays it off. And it goes off during the dunk. Coach Sherman wants it waved off, but the officials say that he was throwing it through the hoop when the horn went off for a shot clock violation. So 60-57. McDermott bailed out of that play by Brown. Brown to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Puts it up and in as Lake takes a forearm to the face. We have a very animated conversation going on over at the central bench about that dunk, I'm sure. Matt Sherman continues to talk about it. They can go over and take a look at it to see on the shot clock if it's at 0 before it's going down, if they choose to do that. That's the technology. It's been used for lots of other things. You might as well take a look at that. It's right now, it is, does anybody have a definitive that it was in the air, out of his hand, not in the act, but in the ball was out of his hands being flushed before the shot clock got to 0. Need 4:28 to go. Lake, after taking the forearm to the face, around the corner, going to be fouled by Fisher. Double bonus regardless. First foul on Fisher. Lake at the line. Made 3 a while ago. Gets 2 more here. Bounce the ball a couple of times to make sure it's okay. Give it back to him. He's got 8 points. Make it 9. He is 7 of 7 from the free throw line and 10 points. Back to 3 with 4:15 to go. McGrew, Fisher, Brown, McDermott, back to Brown. Fakes back to McDermott. Back to Brown on the left wing, looks inside. Entry pass to Bevins. All the way across Fisher, going to take baseline. Ball is knocked out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock. McDermott to the corner. Can't reverse out there. Got to get a shot off. Fisher gets one off. Doesn't draw any iron. Lake with a rebound. McDermott went the wrong way. He was coming out to half court, and he should have been heading towards the basket. Dalen Johnson kicks it out. Lewis. Back to Dalen Johnson. Keith Johnson, 3 on the way. Good, and we're tied. Tied at 62 with 3:20 to go. McGrew, nice effort off the bench. Bevins has a 3 that comes up short. And Keith Johnson with a rebound. Keith Johnson with 21 points. And 11 rebounds. He's got a double-double, tipped and goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Clarke. Xavier Johnson back in. Lewis out. Kamara back in. McDermott out. 18 on the shot clock. Keith Johnson, 3 won't go. Bevins had the rebound, knocked away by Dalen Johnson, who has the ball. Back to Lake. Lake loses the handle on it. McGrew gets it. Ahead to Brown, who's going to flush it again. Second dunk of the ball game for Jonathan Brown. He's got 14 points now in the game. Back to a 2-point advantage. Under 2.5 to go. Lake down the lane. Scoop shot goes. And a timeout over on the side. Oh.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 10, Trent Lyles.
Conversation over by the scorer's bench. Whatever it was, Clarke liked it. Tied at 64. I still think Central's short a point on the scoreboard. From the corner, 3 won't go. Tipped around, ends up in Lake's hands with 2 minutes to go in the game. Lyles back in for the Eagles. He's got a mismatch now with Keith Johnson on him. Or he on Keith Johnson. Dalen Johnson. McGrew. Xavier Johnson. Keith Johnson. Lake, 9 on the shot clock. Tries to go around Brown, ends up a foul called. Pretty sloppy play.
Number 20,
Jonathan Brown called for the foul, his third. Lake at the line to shoot a pair. 7 of 7 is he. He's a 67% free throw shooter, and he is 7 of 7. 8 of 8. If I look and see, 20 of 28. 21 of 29 now. Central, 9 of 10. Makes them both. And it's a 2-point advantage for Clarke with 1:33 to go. Both sides with plenty of timeouts. Kamara going to tuck it and go to the hoop, lays it up and in. Fody Kamara, timeout by the Eagles. Tied with 1:25 to go. So we will read one of our sponsors' ads here. Community Auto Sales and Service is a one-stop shop for all your automotive needs, from brakes, tires, and oil changes to front-end alignments, engine repairs, batteries, and state inspections. They have everything and can do anything to keep you on the road safely. Proud supporter of Eagle Athletics. See if we can get part of that highlight, the last dunk by Brown up. Tipped around, there it comes out. Ahead of the pack he goes. Two-hand this time. Last time it was a left-hand jam. This time it was a two-hand jam. So, a couple of dunks. They were practicing them in the warm-ups because I mentioned the fact that everybody was dunking and missing. We're tied at 66, 1:25 to go. Eagles shooting 1-1 on their next free throw. 2 shots for Clarke, no matter what. Clarke with 12 personal fouls in the game. Central with 20. 9 of 10 as opposed to 22 of 30 for Clarke from the free throw line. Lake will walk it up the court. Lyles on him. Gets a pick. They get the mismatch. Clarke does it they're looking for. They got Lyles on Keith Johnson, but the pass is deflected, and Brown comes away with it. Now the advantage goes over to the Eagles. Tied up. They have the ball. 20 on the shot clock. Lyles. McGrew to the basket. Banks it. Can't get it to go. Meyer with a rebound. Now the advantage goes back to Clarke. Lake. Meyer. Gives it to Dalen Johnson. To the hoop. Can't get it to go. Rattles around inside. Xavier Johnson. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Central basketball. 37 seconds left in the game. 30 seconds of shot clock time. Austin Fisher back in. McGrew out. Kyle McDermott in. Lyles out. A couple of three-point shooters into the ball game. A couple of more offensive tools on the floor for the Eagles. Scorer here and play defense. Coach Sherman just deciding whether he wants a timeout or not. Decides he looks like he wants to play it out the way it is. He's got the people on the floor he wants to go. Rivers bump to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Tipped around. And out with it is Johnson to Dalen Johnson, who loses the handle on it. Lake loses a handle on it. We're down to 3 seconds. Underneath it goes to Meyer. He's fouled with 0.8 of a second on the clock. Meyer's been to the free throw line a lot. He is 12 of 17. He has 2 free throws. Make either one of them, and it will be a difficult assignment with 0.8 of a second. It's a catch and shoot from somewhere. Makes the first one very calmly. He's got 25, and a timeout will be called. Eagles lost a week or so ago, 70 by 2 points, 77-75 at Baker. They're trailing by 1 here. Just can't get over the hump sometimes. I still think they're short a point. But what do I know? Which is nothing. Somebody would have hollered. When they add this up at the end of the night, it may not add up right. But it won't make any difference if Meyer makes his free throw, which I'm sure his coach is telling him to miss it. Because by the time you catch it and come back down on the ground, 0.8 of a second is going to be over. Central's got plenty of timeouts, but they're going to have to get it the second they get the ball, and then they're going to have to figure out a way to throw it at least a half court and then get a shot off. Meyer is back at the line ready to go. (13 of 18 from the free throw line is Josh Meyer. And he misses it on purpose, but he banks it in. That's what you get for trying to miss when you're not ever used to trying to miss. It's like a pitcher trying to throw a ball when all he's ever been told is throw a strike. So 68-60. You may see Central run the baseline and try and pick up a foul. Have somebody run, the person taking the ball out of bounds run the baseline. And as the person who's guarding the ball out of bounds runs with him, somebody else from Central sets a pick and hopes to get run over and go to the free throw line and shoot on the other end. It's either that or get it in to somebody like Kyle McDermott, who's already facing the basket, and let him fire it from half court and see if it works out. So we'll see what Coach Sherman and Coach Sherman over on the Eagle bench come up with. Friday at 1 o'clock, women's action. So the plan has been worked out. Looks like Kamara's going to run the baseline trying to get the ball in bounds, and I'm not going to be surprised if McDermott doesn't jump up here and try and draw a foul of some sort, and another timeout will be called as Clarke waits to see how the Eagles line up. Coach Jim Blaine now going to draw his play up. It's a 30-second timeout. Brown with 14, 13 points for Kamara, 10 points for Bevins, 9 points for Fisher, and 8 points for McDermott. 26 points for Meyer, 21 points for Keith Johnson, and 14 points for Jordan Lake. So 61 of their 68 on the Clarke side from three players. McDermott lines up short, and here he comes to try and get a screen. Fisher gets it off, hits the backboard but misses. They tried to work the sideline play, but it didn't work. And the final score is 68-66. Heartbreaking loss for the Eagles. So that will do it for the men's game tonight, 68-66. Women's game went to the Lady Eagles, 71-69 over number 8 ranked in the nation, Clarke University. So that will do it from Fayette. This is Charlie Brown. Thanks for watching this tonight. Be here Friday at 1 o'clock for women's action as they take on Mount Mercy. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.